This is cs952, Introduction to Web Technologies and Design, and in the last video we created a new div. We added a div to our web page. We gave it an ID of hero image and we inserted an image, our hero image, into it. Now we can see right away that I'm looking at our web page here. I'm going to hit the, as you may recall, the F4 button is a shortcut to hide all of our panels. And I'm just going to go to live view only. So this is what my web page looks like. This isn't that great because my pencil image, I mean that's how wide it is, but I have to scroll to the left and the right to see it. I would like my pencil image just to automatically fill up 100% of whatever space is available. And that's very easy to do with a CSS rule. So I'm going to hit the F4 button again, go back to our regular view. And I'm going to go to my CSS designer. That's the place that we write rules. So I'm going to, with my image selected here in my status bar, I've clicked on my image. We can see our image is inside of our div that we gave an ID of hero image. If I hover over that, it says # hero image, and the little tip that Dreamweaver shows us says ID equals hero image. So let's create a CSS rule. So I want to create my CSS rule inside of my styles.css file. I'm going to choose global, which means it's mobile. It means it's a rule that's going to affect all of our different views. Right now we don't have different media queries, so you're completely safe with selecting global. And then under selectors, I'm going to hit the plus sign, which is going to add a new selector. So let's click the plus sign. And then Dreamweaver looks at the current item that we have selected and then comes up with what Dreamweaver believes, based on its styling rules, is the selector that you want to use. And in this case, we've got a compound selector. It says #hero image or #hero image. That means something that has an ID of hero image, which is, of course, the div. The div that we created has an ID of hero image. Then there's a space, and then it says IMG. So as you read this from left to right, it's saying something that has an ID of hero image, and then an HTML element, which is called image, that's inside of it. And that's exactly what we're working with. We have an image that's inside of a div with an ID of hero image. So this selector that Dreamweaver created for us is exactly the selector that we want. And we're going to be using this feature over and over again. Rather than learning all of the rules for CSS for creating selectors, which is a good thing to do, but we're going to let Dreamweaver help us out and expedite this process of building our website by having Dreamweaver generate the selectors that we need. So this is perfect. This is exactly what we want. # hero image, image. So an image that's inside of this div. So I'm going to hit the enter key. Okay. Now, what properties do we want to select? We're going to give one property. We're saying if there's an image and it's inside of the hero image, we want the width of that image to be 100%, exactly as wide as whatever location it may be on the web page. If the web page is 200 pixels wide, make the image 200 pixels wide. If it's 500 pixels wide, make the image 500 pixels wide. If it's 2,000 pixels wide, make the image 2,000 pixels wide. So I'm going to click on the % sign here. And right now it says 0%, so our image disappeared because it's 0%. I'm going to type in 100 for 100 and hit enter, and look at that. Now, as I grab my live view scrubber, you can see as I change the width of my web page, the image changes size as well. That is exactly what we're looking for. Exactly what we want. I'm going to go ahead and hit the Save All button because I'm pretty pleased with the way things have turned out. And now, after our image, we want to add another element to our web page. And this is going to be a bootstrap element called a jumbotron. So we've got our navigation bar at the top on the home page, like all of our pages have a navigation bar. Then we've got this image of the pencils. Next, we want to add our jumbotron. So in my DOM, in my document object model panel, I'm going to click on my hero image. I want to insert my Bootstrap Jumbotron after this div that has an ID of hero image. So how do I do that? I go to Insert. I want to make sure I'm on Bootstrap Components. And you can see Jumbotron is right here on the list. Very easy to get to. It's a very popular Bootstrap component. So I'm going to click on Jumbotron. And when I do that, we get this little box that pops up. It says, this element that you're going to be adding, this new Bootstrap component, do you want to put it before this div? After? Do you want to wrap it inside of it? Do you want to nest it? Do you want to put it inside of this div? Well, we want to put it after. We're going to have the picture, and then we're going to have our Jumbotron. So we click on After. And when we do that, now let's look at our document object model. We've got our div, that's the image, and now we've got our Jumbotron. And here's our Jumbotron right down here. So I want to change some of this text. Right now it says Hello World. So I'm going to double click. I'm going to, let's see, highlight Hello World, and I'm going to type the humble pencil. Perfect. Now we have a little text that says something about our humble pencil. And you know what I'm going to use? I'm going to use that same text that we're using for our website description. How about that? I'm going to hit Save All. I have the text saved in etudes because I remember I submitted that as part of the assignment that was due in week 2. But it's also already on my web page, right? Because we put the description inside of that meta tag. When we were creating the template, we had that meta tag. So how do we find that? Do we need to open up the template? Well, it's there, right? But it's in that text that's kind of grayed out. So I'm going to switch from live view to code view. And I want to, right now I'm looking at my styles.css file. And here's that rule that was written for us. # hero image with 100%. I'm going to switch over here to my source code, which is the main code for the page I'm working on. That's all the stuff we've been doing. We can see the HTML code. Let's scroll up to the top. And we're looking for that meta tag that we added that has a description of our website. And right here it is. Meta tag name equals description. This website is all about the humble pencil. So this is what I want. This couple sentences that describes my website. I'm going to right click and copy this. You may have this description saved elsewhere, or you could write a new description. I'm just going to use the description that I created before. I'm going to hit copy. I'm going to switch back to live view. And again, this is the text that I want to replace. This is a simple hero unit. So I'm going to hit delete. Well, let's see, that didn't, let me do this. Let me double click to highlight this for editing. Now I'll hit delete and back up. And now I'm going to hit Control V or paste. There we go. This website, looks like I got a little extra stuff here I didn't need. This website is all about the humble pencil. Let's delete that. That's perfect. So now inside of my Jumbotron, if we look, we can see that this div, it's called a Jumbotron. We've got an H1, that's our heading that says the humble pencil. And then we have this paragraph. Here's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to insert another div. I've got that H1 selected, so I'm going to go to Insert, and I'm going to choose Div. And I'm going to insert it after, because it's going to come after the H1. Let's hit After. So now we've got this div here. And remember, divs are super flexible. They can be anything they want them to be. And I'm going to hit Save All. And I'm going to copy some content from Wikipedia and paste it in here. And we're going to do that in our next video.